What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cover 4 Pod, Week 8 NFL Against the Spread predictions. Last week, we kind of struggled as a set. Well, me and Zach went under 500. Cody snuck above 500. Nate Dogg leading the way at 10-5, I believe. 10-4? 10-5.
Good week.
Pretty solid week. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, leave a like. Greatly appreciate it. We take a look at our overall standings. Right now, Nate Dogg, as you can see, leading the way by 5 games now on me, which tough. I still hold the edge in all time, but Nate, you're sneaking up every week.
Creeping on you.
Yeah, it's getting close. Zach also 4 games above 500 on the year. Cody's making his way back up after a tough first few weeks. Fellas, how did you enjoy Week 7?
A lot of injuries, wide receiver Armageddon.
Oh, loved Week 7.
I hope everybody survived. I know there's a lot of big names went down this week, unfortunately. Nothing we can do as fantasy owners, managers. Just gotta
on to the next, right?
Gotta ride the wave. Next man up mentality.
Yeah, I had 2 leagues. I lost Ayuk and Godwin. Yeah. 2 leagues.
Brutal.
I hope nobody took my lock because it wasn't even close.
My lock as well. Struggled last week. Let's get right into it. Thursday Night Football, we head to L.A., the Minnesota Vikings. This guy's Minnesota Vikings, who are coming off a tough loss.
Good game, tough loss.
One guy had it as his lock over there, Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg's sizzling right now. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's hot. We got the Vikings heading to the Rams. The Rams are +3 at home. I will open up. This is a tough one. I'm going Vikings -3 to bounce back to right the ship. I was a little concerned because this felt like a Ram spot. I don't know why they're getting healthy. Cup's going back this week. But I want to take the better team. Thursday night, I've been struggling. I got back on it with the Broncos last week. That was a good win. We swept that, by the way. I'm going on the Vikings here. I like them -3. Right the ship. The NFC North is going to be a battle all year long. They got to keep it up. They'll win this game.
Yeah, don't overthink this one here. I mean, the Vikings are a way better overall team. They're coming off a tough divisional loss. You know I love the Vikings here. Just going to go with the Vikings here, lay the 3, easy win.
Yeah, on the contrary to the 2 guys on my left, it's all Rams in this game, I feel like. Cooper Kupp's coming back. The Rams, they're 2-4. They need to start getting wins. The Vikings, they're going to have a great season, I think. But, I think they have back-to-back losses, kind of like rethink things, get their minds reset, get going. But, yeah, no, Cooper Kupp, Kyren Williams, Matt Stafford. Yeah, I think they're going to squeeze this one out.
This is the usual pairing. I'm going to do it again. I'm with Nate.
2-2.
I just think this Vikings team, like everybody's going to notice, they're just slowly coming back to life. Like, well, they're coming back down to earth, as I say.
Sam Darnold's plummeting back to the earth.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, nobody thought he's going to be 5-0, but slowly but surely this team is going to start losing games, and that's just what it comes down to. It's a Sam Darnold-led offense. I already saw on Twitter today that there's trade rumors about Matt Stafford going to the Vikings. I don't know if it's all true. Cooper Kupp, they're asking for a second-round pick. I don't know if all that's true, but I think the Rams +3 is a good value pick, especially being at home. And this is a team that's desperate, so I'm going to take the Rams +3.
I think we're kind of forgetting that the Lions are probably the best team in the NFL. So don't take those takes to heart over there from those 2.
We were coming off a record number of storms last week. We went 3-2 in storms. This is kind of more like it, though. We're split early on Thursday Night Football. All right, moving on. We got AFC East battle. We're heading to no more London games. Did you guys enjoy the London games?
No, not really.
No, not at all.
Nope.
Yeah. You didn't like to wake up early to see Drake May versus Trevor Lawrence?
I enjoyed the Jaguars getting my survivor.
That's big.
You know what I mean? They got me
closing in on a huge survivor pool.
Yep.
Here we got the Patriots. They're 1-6. They're free falling. But the bigger story is on the other sideline. Aaron Rodgers led Jets. Aaron Rodgers, he fired his coach. He got Devontae Adams in the building. Now I guess Hassan Reddick's coming back, right?
He will be playing
what else? At some point you got to win. This is the New England Patriots now. Cody, who do you got? You laying 7 points with a team that cannot figure it out.
Just want to say shout out to Drew Rosenhaus. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's Hassan Reddick's agent. That's going to be a big addition to this team. Flying under the radar right now, but him coming into this game is going to be a huge factor. Great pass rusher. I love the Jets in a get-right spot here, -7, so I'm going to be laying the number with them. I believe Devontae has a great day. Maybe, what did you say last week? You said he'd get, in that game, you were like...
I guaranteed a touchdown, 100 yards.
So what Zach said last week, I believe is going to happen.
He had 10 targets.
Yeah,
so
he did.
It wasn't like it was their first game back together. I mean, it was a primetime game.
Now he's taking it back.
No. I mean, it felt like a nervous game. You're in Pittsburgh. That's a tough place to play in. Let's be honest.
Absolutely,
good man.
Yeah.
So your prediction of last week is what I think Devontae is going to do this week. I'm taking the Jets -7, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm with Cody on this one. I think the Jets, you got to get right at some point, and I think they get right against this Pats team. Hassan Reddick is back. It's only a matter of time before that offense becomes explosive, more explosive than they already are. And I think it starts at the expense of Drake May. Give me the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I like what I see from the Pats and Drake May. I do like it, but I'm going to agree with these two here with the Jets. This is a stud offense. We saw Breece Hall come alive. I mean, we know he's a top 3 running back. Devontae Adams, he's gonna have 100 in the score, I hope, this time. Garrett Wilson, he had a tough drop in that game, but this is a dynamic wide receiver duo that is going to come to life and dominate the Pats, hopefully. I mean, honestly, it depends on Aaron Rodgers. If he's throwing picks like that was a crazy pick by the Rook. But
yeah, hell yeah. Beanie Bishop.
I'm going to go with the Jets here. I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to go with the Jets -7.
No storm yet. I'm going to lone wolf the Patriots. You never feel good about
love
this,
it.
obviously.
I don't even hate it, though.
The line was flirting at like 7.5. I would have loved to get the hook here. I'm going to take the Patriots. It's one of those spots where I can't lay the number with a team that's looked this bad, this discombobulated. I mean, Devontae Adams, it'll take a little bit of time. I know people thought it was going to be instant, and I kind of agreed with you. I'm not going to sit here and pretend they were my lock. I agreed with you. But I just think the Patriots, home divisional dog Nate Martins, where'd he go? He's gone, apparently. He's laying the number on the road Jets. Give me the Patriots. I just hope they can make this game ugly. The Jets should win, but get it within the number. Drake May. I like Drake May. Let's see it on Sunday.
Have you guys heard about what Gerard Mayo's been saying about his own team, though, in the presser? You guys
about it being
literally
soft?
just saying they're just a soft football team. Like, I just don't know where you go from there.
That's probably not
calling
good.
your own team soft.
All right, next one, a good matchup on paper. The record's not really reflecting that. The Eagles are getting back on track. So are the Bengals. They're now 3-4. They're playing host to the Eagles. They are favorites in this spot, -2.5. The Eagles are basically fully healthy now. They got Brown back, Smith back, Lane Johnson back. I will open us up. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals at home. This is kind of what we see year after year with the Bengals. They start slow. They start to get into a rhythm. And the Eagles, I know I faded the Eagles last week and I got burned. The Giants never stood a chance. One of the worst picks in the history of the show. +3. Dead by halftime. But whatever, we're moving on. This is a tough spot, I think, for the Eagles. The Bengals are starting to get it rolling. They didn't look dominant by any means against the Browns, but that's a divisional game. That's tough. I think this is finally a spot where the Bengals can really flex that offense, kind of similar to what we saw against the Ravens, like that type of output. The Eagles' defense isn't tremendous. Give me the Bengals minus a short number at home in the jungle.
Yeah, two very equal teams here. Like CVA said, the Bengals kind of get going later in the season. I'm going to go with the Bengals here. I think they get this one done just because it's an at-home game. The Cats, exactly. It's a home game. This is two very equal teams. It's going to be a scrappy one. Good number, 2.5. I'm going to lay that, though, with the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm, again, on the contrary, I'm going with the Eagles in this game. I think this game is...
I don't feel good about this. He's seeing the board well. I don't know.
I think the Eagles win this game in the trenches. I think they're going to be able to run. Saquon's going to have a big day. And I think they're going to be able to rush the passer and get to Joe Burrow. Their defense went crazy on Daniel Jones last week. And the Bengals offensive line is very, they're not, like, the best. So I think they can fluster Joe Burrow, force him into some uneasy throws, make him uncomfortable throughout the game. Yeah, sprinkle some, big plays to maybe A.J. Brown. Devonta Smith, he was non-existent last week. I think he gets more on track.
Points, I think, 0.8.
Yeah.
They threw the ball 14 times though. That's not gonna happen every week.
Right.
It was the Saquon game.
It was a Saquon revenge game.
But yeah, give me the birds, not the Cats.
Meow.
Again, I'm gonna be with as much as I love Joe Burrow and these Bengals, I'm gonna be with Nate, man. The Eagles are fully healthy. Saquon looks great, and this game is really gonna come down to the battle of the trenches. And I think on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, the Eagles have the better guys just in the trenches. So I think I'm going to go with them. They have superstars on the outside. Dallas Goedert is supposed to be ready for this game. They're resting him. I think this is a big game for them, for their confidence. Now, maybe just like last year, we can see the Eagles go on a little bit of a run maybe. Maybe they can string some wins together, try to catch the Commanders at the top of the NFC East, because we all know Dallas isn't going to be anywhere near there. So love to see that. But yeah, I like the Eagles in this spot.
All right, next up, another cat, the Jacksonville Jaguars, playing host to the Green Bay Packers. Packers 5-2, part of that NFC North that has just been absolutely elite. They are laying 4.5 on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars, coming over after a 2-week stay in London. Cody, how do you think the Jaguars They come back stateside. How do you think they fare in their first game back in America?
So I believe they're going to carry some momentum over from when they were in England to now being back at home in Jacksonville. This team is just so loaded. They have so much talent. In my opinion, like I saw this on Twitter, I was kind of laughing. If Brian Thomas's name was Reggie Wayne Jr., he'd probably go in the first round. That's referring to Marvin Harrison. But
Best rookie receiver.
Yeah. I don't know.
Easy.
Marv hasn't looked great, but Brian Thomas has. He's looked phenomenal along with Malik Neighbors. Those are my two favorite rookie receivers as of right now. But I think a guy like Brian Thomas can open this game up. Christian Kirk can have a big day. Evan Ingram looked phenomenal last week. I think this is all Jaguars. So I'm going to be laying the number. I'm going to be taking the points plus 4.5 and go Jags.
I'm going to be rolling with the Packers in this game. I think it'll be a high score. Actually, I don't know about that. I think it's going to be like, I don't know. I think Trevor Lawrence, I think they'll move the ball. The Jaguars and their offense will be able to move the ball, but I don't think they'll score a lot of touchdowns in this game. The Packers defense, I think they're legit. They take away the ball a lot, and I think they're going to force Trevor Lawrence into some bad decisions in this game, and we all know what Jordan Love's going to do to that defense, so I think it could get pretty scary for the Jaguars.
For me, this kind of feels like when the Cards beat the 49ers. I know the Pats aren't the 49ers, but it's like the Jags just won a game. It's like, oh, they're going to get rolling here. No. They're not going to get rolling. The Packers are a way more put-together team. Jordan Love's a dog. I know he's going to say that.
I have him in Dynasty.
But yeah, I'm going with the Packers here. I honestly think this is going to be a rout. So I'm laying all 10.5 here. Packers.
I smell a trap game. I'm on the Jaguars here, plus 4.5.
And I fell into the trap.
This is a biggest trap of the week. We're talking, I think Jaguars can win this game outright. Now, I love Jordan Love. I am fully confident in this offense. I think they'll move the ball at will, but I think the Jaguars are going to find some success here. They're at home. If this isn't in Green Bay, the weather's obviously fine. It's in Florida. I think, honestly, I do think the Jaguars win this game outright. Obviously, for the show, we're taking the points.
We always
take the points.
Always.
But this is a sneaky game. I really hope I don't look up at halftime and it's 24-3
It
Packers.
It will be.
That would really suck. But I'm with Cody here. I'm gonna take the number. I think.
Actually, that's a good bet. 24-3 at half. That's a good bet value.
When you look at both of these teams, though, and you look at both their offensive weapons, like they're very similar teams in reality. Both teams have a good tight end. Both teams have a quality quarterback, and both teams have quality receivers. So at the end of the day, it's like
for me, it's
a
just
team at
like,
home catching points. Like I'll take it all
for
day.
me, it's just like Jordan Love is way more consistent than T-Law, and I just think they're a more put together team. But yeah, the Jags have their weapons.
I think Walker has a big day. Trevon Walker's going to wreck this game potentially. Nothing shows me that the Packers O-line's that great.
Hasn't been a lot of double-digit spreads, but we got one at Ford Field on Sunday. The Tennessee Titans coming off a game that they led 10-0, I believe, against the Bills, and they never scored another point.
No.
Did not cover, did not come close to covering. Going into Detroit to take on the Lions just gave the Vikings, obviously, their first loss, as we talked about earlier. They're laying 10.5. Really might be, the biggest spread of the year.
I don't know if we've had a double-digit spread.
We
had was there a 9.5 earlier in the season?
Yeah. I think that's
I'm pretty sure there was a 9.5.
Yeah,
but I think this is the highest spread.
I think so. By the way, all lines as of Tuesday on FanDuel, as always. Lions are laying 10.5 points. I will open us up. I'm off. I've gone to rehab. I'm off the Titans. I'm officially off the Titans. I've taken them every week this year. I feel sick every Sunday watching this pitiful team. They have nothing. They suck. Will Levis, I still have some hope, but they suck. Give me the Lions to just absolutely roll. Now, this is another potential letdown spot. You just came off a emotional game in Minneapolis. Now you're playing the lowly Tennessee Titans. Everybody expects you.
Great.
They could sleepwalk in this first half, but if the Lions, if Dan Campbell is the coach I think he is, if they're ready for this game, there is no way they should be under 10 points in this game. They should win by at least 3 scores. Give me the Lions minus 10.5. I'm done overthinking this Titans bull. Give me the Lions.
I'm going to back your pick, CVA. The Titans are 1-5 against the spread this year. That's all I need. And obviously the Lions are a top team. A wagon, you could say. I'm laying the 10.5 here. I'm not going to think too much about it. The only bright side to the Titans is Tony Pollard. That's it. So Lions minus 10.5.
Yeah, a couple games ago, I was off the Cats, the Bengals. I'm now on the Cats, the Lions. Yeah, the Lions, they're rolling. Came off a big win against Minnesota, which was my lock, by the way. Ballsy lock, but that's what we do. So the Lions, they're rolling. There's no reason the Titans should be in this game. I know Titans do have, in terms of yardage, they have a top 5 defense in yardage.
Yeah, their defense.
I mean, besides the second half of that Buffalo game, that might have screwed it up, whatever.
But at some point, it's the Titans defense, we're sick of this. Right. How many times do we have to go out there and force a punt, and then Mason Rudolph comes on the field. Like, it does not inspire confidence. But yeah.
Yeah, so I think the Lions, they're gonna do their thing. They're gonna control the game on the ground. Big plays through the air. James Williams got suspended 2 games for PEDs, but. That ain't stopping the sun god Amon Ra. So
what's up with them? They're testing him after a game where he had 1 catch for -4 yards.
Yeah, very interesting. Somebody else on the Commanders, defensive back, just got suspended 6 games as well for PEDs. So that happened today. A lot of stuff going on this week.
What's the anytimes here?
I want to get Laporta. Laporta's
Jahmyr Gibbs.
It's always the Lions.
Sam Laporta at some time. Like, he was so good last year. I don't know why they're not.
Maybe now that J-Mo's out, maybe Laporta can get going.
Things up for Laporta across the middle.
Yeah. I mean, Khalif Raymond has TDs this year, so I mean,
I'm probably gonna be on.
He looks like Calvin Johnson.
Yo, Tim Patrick looks great too off his injury.
Yeah,
he had the Achilles injury and the ACL the past 2 years.
I'm probably gonna be on Laporta anytime again and probably lose again.
Oh, you love it.
I hope so.
Cody, is this a storm?
No, it is not a storm. I actually feel really good about this.
You found
pick.
my Titans stash.
Titans plus 10.5 playing in Detroit. Detroit looks like the best team in football. The Titans look like the worst team. This is the exact spot I want to be in for a lone wolf.
Nope, Titans are a gateway drug.
I think L'Jarius Sneed's gonna be the difference maker here. He's gonna eliminate Amon Ra in this game. He's gonna maybe 5 catches, 6 catches. That's about it.
You hear yourself?
I mean, it's L'Jarius Sneed. We've all seen what he did.
No, he's great. Well,
he's phenomenal.
Come on. This is the Tennessee Titans.
And the Titans defense, like Nate had said, they are a top 5 defense this year in yardage allowed. And I think people get surprised by this result. I'm not gonna sit here and say the Titans are gonna win this game, but it's gonna be shocking how close this game is in my opinion. So I'm gonna be taking the Titans plus the 10.5. Calvin Ridley's gonna have a really good day against his secondary.
Dude, he needs it for fantasy owners.
And then next week he's not going to have a catch.
He just got targeted 9 times this week. I think that continues, but instead of only having 3 catches, maybe he'll get like 6 or 7.
Maybe he'll get 4.
And that's a big day.
Next up, the decimated Tampa Bay Buccaneers after a brutal Monday night game, losing both Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They are banged up. Now, rematch from earlier in the year, only a few weeks ago, on Thursday Night Football, where the Falcons beat the Buccaneers in that game that Kirk Cousins threw for like 500 yards. Now the Falcons are going to Tampa to take on the Bucs. The Bucs are plus 2.5. This line, obviously, I think swung a little bit with all the injuries. Cody, are you laying a short number with the road Atlanta Falcons?
Yeah, this one's a tough game here. A lot of unfortunate stuff going on with the Bucs. You see that Mike Evans is probably out till week 11, they're saying, and then Chris Godwin dislocated his ankle, so he's done for the year. Hopefully he makes a full recovery. I'm going to be taking the Buccaneers, however, plus 2.5. When those 2 guys went out on the offense, I know they're both like the wide receiver superstars, but this team still looks serviceable. They were driving down the field. They put up 30 points on the Ravens, and they were down like I think 20 or 25 at one point. So they kind of brought that game a little closer, which is the reason that Godwin was still in the game. It was still a close game. So I'm going to be taking the Bucs plus 2.5. I think Baker shows out. And I think Jalen McMillan can be a sneaky ad in fantasy. So maybe go add him if he's on your waiver wire. I think he has a big day.
Like I said earlier, Chris Godwin for me, man, in fantasy, it sucks to see him go down in that fashion in garbage time, 40 seconds left.
Sucks making sharp picks like that, and then that happens. That's such a sharp pick. Chris Godwin in fantasy, like.
Oh yeah.
Wide receiver 2 on the team, and you looked like the wide receiver 1 all year, and then that happens.
Brutal outcome yesterday for my fantasy squads, but
you're staring at a fantasy punishment. By the way,
no, that's Kudo. Kudo's getting that.
I don't know.
He's
or Logan. Shout out Logan.
Shout out Kudo. Shout out Logan. Shout out Kudo. Shout out Logan.
Not me though, right? I'm not losing.
Yeah, Zach's not 1-6. Jerry
last.
Judy. Guess who beat Jerry Judy this week?
Judy. But yeah, back to business. I believe that, the Bucs, I think they had, before Mike Evans and Godwin go down, I thought they had a sneaky shot of, having a deep playoff run with the way they were looking, honestly. But now, I don't know how long Mike Evans is out for. Godwin's obviously out for the season. They do have serviceable guys. McMillan, I think, is going to be good. They have a trio of running backs now.
Yeah. Great running backs. And Sterling Shepard has looked serviceable,
Sterling Shepard's been good,
Not bad.
Bucky Irvin's the best running back in that backfield.
Big K. Dalton season now, I feel like, incoming.
Yes.
But with that being said, I think that severely damages their season outlook. I don't know if they get to 9 wins going forward against a rematch of that week 5
right.
game.
Yeah.
The Falcons against the Bucs. I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah, I feel like fading myself here, but I'm going to trust my gut. I'm going to go with the Falcons here. Unfortunate for the Bucs. I've been a Bucs guy. I love the Bucs. I think they got a bunch of studs on that team, a bunch of humble players besides Baker. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons here. Everybody's pretty much healthy. Unfortunate for the Bucs. Laid 2.5 with the Falcons.
Did anybody think Baker Mayfield would be the fantasy QB1 going into week 8? Anybody?
No.
He was getting drafted in like the last round in fantasy or just waivers in general. It's crazy.
I will make just you took the Bucs, right? So lone wolf over there because I'm going to take the Falcons laying the short number. I just think it's hard. You have a Monday night game. It's a little slightly shorter week. You lose your 2 top guys. You lose a Hall of Famer in Mike Evans. I think that's tough to just turn around and beat a divisional team like the Falcons, who are coming off a loss to a great team, and they're going to look to bounce back. So I like the Falcons in this game. I think they can win this game by like 10 points, and I think we get a comfortable cover, actually.
Luckily, Evans will be back, though. He's not out for the year, so maybe they can still make a little run.
Hope is lost.
It's always next man up mentality.
Maybe make a move at the deadline, too. I mean, get somebody.
Yeah.
Get
Cooper Kupp, maybe. I don't know. That'd be sneaky.
There will be sellers, so the Bucs. I wouldn't lose all hope if you're a Bucs fan. All right, next up, we got 2 warm weather teams right here. The Cardinals taking on the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa scheduled to be back. The Dolphins are laying 3 points. They have had an abysmal run without Tua. Tyreek Hill, it's like he's not even in the game. Jalen Waddle, similar stuff.
Yeah, they look terrible.
Tua is indeed, and you saw what Tua said about the Guardian cap, right?
Yeah, personal preference. He will not be wearing it.
No, yeah.
It's an interesting.
He just doesn't.
He said no.
He doesn't want to look cool.
He said it's a personal
no
choice. He does not want to wear a Guardian cap.
I don't mean to buddy them, but buddy. Just put the thing on. Like you're gonna die. Like
he's not gonna listen to what you
I'm
say,
being
bro.
Dead serious. Like
he makes $55 million. He's good, bro. He can do whatever he wants.
That money's not gonna matter at all.
Yeah, it's brutal. I'm genuinely worried for him when he takes the field.
I'm worried that he's even playing football. To be quite frank, he should. I don't think he should be playing anymore. I don't think any of us think he should.
So that being said, give me the Dolphins -3. Love them in this spot. I really was frustrated watching that game last night with the Cardinals because I was on the Chargers. I had a 3-legger. Maple Leafs, check. Ravens, check. Chargers let me down. The Cardinals, little short Kyler Murray, burned me. But
damn, at the end, the game winning field goal too.
You think Jalen Reagor? Shout out Jalen Reagor for that.
Yeah, the fumble.
Stud receiver, Jalen Reagor.
Former Vikings legend.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, anybody know how many teams Jalen Reagor has been on in his career? Anybody?
Probably like 5.
Actually, Jalen Reagor.
Over under, put it at 5.5. It's insane. Like I think I've seen him in like 4 or 5 different uniforms.
Right?
Yeah,
I'll include that. Might be 7.
Yeah,
Probably.
dude, he must have been. He's like a journeyman.
He's passed around like a blunt.
Yeah, he's 24 and he's like.
He was actually picked by the Eagles before Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I know.
That's
wild.
Crazy. That's sad.
It is.
Do you know where he went to college?
Jalen Reagor.
I have no idea. Doesn't matter though.
I want to say LSU.
Fact check that.
We'll fact check that.
In this spot, I like the
you're
Dolphins.
right.
I think we
think
finally see a little explosion out of them at home. I think HN gets going. I think Tyreek Hill gets going. I think Jalen Waddle finds the end zone. I'm looking at 34-20 type game. I think we'll see a lot of points at the over probably in this spot. Again, if Tua is, he's coming back. He hasn't been in a while. I don't know about the hesitancy. He's had this obviously multiple times before, and he's come back pretty much fine. So I expect that in this spot. The Cardinals, I don't be fooled in the Cardinals. I still don't think they're very good. They still don't use Marvin Harrison like they should. James Conner is a dog. But everybody else on this team, I'm not really sold on any other piece of this, any other unit on this team outside of the running back, James Conner. So give me the Dolphins -3. They get back on track. They need this win to even think about playoffs.
Yeah, the question here is, are we going to see the old Dolphins? Are we going to be sprinkling everybody's over? Is that the question? Do you ride with that? I think you do here with Tua back. Clearly, all he wants to do is play football in his life.
He doesn't 40 points.
You got to think about it. He's got a true love and passion for this sport. He really doesn't care about anything else because if he did, he would probably not be playing football anymore.
Oh, yeah.
This is a game where I would definitely just sprinkle all the overs of Waddle. Maybe not A-Chain, but Waddle, Reek, and Tua, those 3.
Yeah, I'm with the boys here. I think it's Dolphins -3. I think Tua's return means everything to this team, especially for fantasy. Like I'm owning Tyreek Hill. Like I'm so glad that this is happening.
Tyreek, Waddle, everybody.
HN,
Mostert has been abysmal, but the whole team ever since he's been gone.
There's definitely like a palpable feeling in the locker room. It's like Tua's back. It's not Huntley. It's not Skylar Thompson. It's not Tim Boyle. Come on.
He knows the system better than anybody. That's what it comes down to. Those guys don't know the system. Tyler Huntley just came over from the Ravens. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah,
He's got no idea.
But yeah, Dolphins got that quarterback back. I'm sure they're gonna be motivated at 2-4. What 2-5 now?
They just lost to the Colts.
Did
they have their bye week yet? Yeah, so 2-4.
Yeah, so the 2-4 Dolphins, you got your quarterback back. You need to get some wins. I think they start like really making a playoff push. As long as they have Tua.
This is a very important fact that everybody can fact check. I don't know how you guys haven't brought this up. Kyler Murray, Black Ops 6 is coming out on Friday.
Oh, my God.
This guy is cooked. Like, get him off your fantasy team. I want you to trade him, get some value because it's over with. He's going to be up late with the boys.
Probably not. He's not even going to play.
No, this guy's he's in the FaZe clan and he's an NFL QB. Like, think about that. This is like Bronny James on the Lakers. Shout out him. He's playing tonight. He's on the active roster.
I'm on the Lakers tonight.
That's impressive. I love it. Plus money. 0-6 while LeBron's been there, by the way, on opening nights.
Wow.
This isn't a basketball talk show, though. This is football. This team is going to get blown out. Maybe 40, 50. Do you remember when the Dolphins put up 70 last year against Sean Payton and the Broncos? This is going to be a brutal beating. It's going to be bad. This team has been salivating at the mouth for Tua to come back.
First storm, there it is.
All right. I'm telling you right now. It ain't time for locks yet, but this is crazy. -3 is a disrespect.
Wow.
Jalen Waddle, I'm waiting for you, man. I got you in 2 leagues. I'm waiting for you to break out. This is your time. And Tua, just do what you usually do. Dance around. Just protect yourself, please. Dolphins -3.
Yo, would we be on the Dolphins if Tua was wearing the halo, the Guardian cap?
Yeah.
Wow. Would we?
This team has just got all their swagger back. All the swagger's back.
I don't know. I think that would kill the swagger, though.
Yeah, the swagger.
That would kill the swagger.
They'd see him out there. They'd be like, All right, next up, divisional battle, the home divisional dog. Looking at you, Nate.
Divisional dogs.
The Baltimore Ravens, in my opinion,
going with it.
I think there's 3 teams above everybody. I think the Lions, the Ravens, and the Chiefs are the 3 best teams right now. Keep an eye out for those Seahawks. But in this spot, going to Cleveland, going to the dog pound. Plus 9.5, the Browns at home. Obviously, Deshaun Watson. Can't say I feel too bad for the guy, but he is gone for the year with the Achilles.
Jabu. It's Jabu time.
Jabu time in Cleveland. I think that's going to give a little good vibes to this Browns team. Cody, are you taking a big number with the Browns, or are you laying 9.5 with Baltimore?
Yeah, this game for me, it's a lot of back and forth. Of course, this is what I talk about with the AFC North. A lot of these games, they're very tight. No matter who's playing, I know Jabu. He likes to turn the ball over. That's what this guy's career. He's the only quarterback in NFL history for the 30 for 30, 30 TDs, 30 picks in a season. He's one of one.
That's insane.
It's impressive stuff. We've literally never seen it. So. Shout out Jameis Winston. I think he can keep the game close. I saw a clip of the Browns fans. Just like you said, I can't really blame them, but they were literally celebrating when he popped his Achilles. That's like, for Watson, like, oof, he's got to request a trade or something because he's going to want to come back. He's 28. He's 29. He just turned 29. He's going to want to come back.
You think he should travel somewhere?
I don't know about requesting a trade.
I just hope in his rehab he doesn't.
Take your money that you stole from this franchise, go to an island, and sip on some pina coladas. And
maybe like a trade from life.
Don't be a menace to society anymore. But so you're on the Browns.
Yes.
All right.
I am fully on board here with Jameis Winston, famous Jameis. He's coming alive. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like the Ravens. I don't like the Browns. But I think he can keep this game close. I think he's a better passer than Deshaun Watson to this point. I think he'll give the offense some.
I don't know. Cody might be a better passer than Deshaun Watson. I mean, I don't know.
He might be. I've seen him throw. He might be.
Maybe. But I definitely got better hands.
But I think he'll be able to send drives better than Deshaun Watson did. Nick Chubb coming back is a huge help to this team. Just for the fact that they can run the ball, I think divisional dog. I think they will keep the game close. Not saying the Ravens will probably win the game, but I think the Browns can keep it close for sure. Keep it respectable.
That's why they call him Nate Doggy Style. If you guys didn't know, he likes dogs, divisional dogs.
Divisional dudes.
I'm gonna go with NDD here. I hope you know what that is. But yeah, the Browns here plus 9.5, 30 for 30 for JMO shows that he has confidence. He is a confident man, and he's gonna throw the ball no matter what. Chubb is back. They're at home. Plus 9.5. That's too many points. Browns.
Some weather systems coming through because that's back-to-back storms. I'm on the Browns as well. I didn't think we'd be storming the Browns here, but I got them at plus 9.5. I think this more. I don't much to add. I think what you said about AFC North games, especially these two teams, some weird happens in these games. We've seen blocked kicks. We've seen return. We've seen a lot.
Dude,
of things.
Jameis might be smoking a pack after this game.
Remember
the eating some W's, smoking some cigars.
I think the Ravens win by like 3 or 4 points. I think the Browns keep this close throughout. I don't think at any point is this really getting away from Cleveland. I think it'll be. I think this locker room is going to feel a little better this week with that. The bad man's gone.
I want to make a note, too. The past 2 weeks, the favorites have been eating. Like, the public has been eating Vegas alive. You can look at the data, the statistics, whatever you want to look at. So I think this week is where where the lever switches, it changes. I think a lot of dogs win this week. I'm telling you, be careful. Yeah. A lot of big spreads, a little double-digit spread. Like, I would not be surprised. I'm booking it. There's going to be a big underdog this week. I don't know who it is, but
another divisional game, not a divisional home dog though. Here we have a divisional home favorite. The Colts are going to Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans lost a close one against Green Bay on Sunday. The Colts won, but they did not look good again. I'll open this up here. I'm going to take the Texans -5.5. I think they get back on track here. Anthony Richardson's I just don't know if he's a long-term answer. In fact, I would say I do know that he's not the long-term answer. I think Joe Flacco, we've been saying it, gives them a better chance to win. I think that's how most people feel at this point. They're obviously not going to turn to him unless there's an injury. I think the Texans roll here. I know it's a divisional game. I know they played week 1. I know it was close. I like the Texans here, -5.5.
Yeah, it's a good pick, CVA. Great pick. I'm going to fade myself here. I'm going to go with the Colts. The Colts are 6-1 against the number this year. It seems like they're clicking right now. The Texans just came off a gritty, gross win. Gross loss, my bad. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts here. I think they can get this one done. They can cover the 5.5 number. Colts.
I am going to roll with the Texans in this game. Anthony Richardson, to this point, I'm not saying he's an NFL bust. He still has time and potential to get back to being a quarterback that's worthy of the draft pick. But to this point, he sucks. He's having a bad year. He's terrible, and I don't think that's going to change against a hot Texans team, especially after that heartbreaking loss to the Packers. I think they're coming. They're ready to play. No Nico, it doesn't matter. They got Diggs. You have a bunch of weapons. You got Joe Mixon's. He's been on fire. And I don't think – and John Taylor might come back this week. Maybe not, but –
supposed to, I think. I think they're optimistic.
Yeah, he's practicing today, so he'll be back.
He was supposed to come back last week.
Did he have a good practice, Cody?
He was limited, whatever that means.
But yeah, but whether they have Taylor or not, as long as Anthony Richardson's back there, they need Joe Flacco, but give me the Texans.
I'm going to be agreeing with Zach here. What I do agree with these two, however, that Anthony Richardson is a pretty porous quarterback. But he does play up. I don't know if anybody's noticed. In these divisional games, especially against the Texans, he plays good football against these guys. So I think the same thing continues. I think they can keep this game within 5.5, even though it's on the road. They have some weapons. They have Alec Pierce. They have Michael Pittman. I know he's a little banged up with the back injury, but Jonathan Taylor coming back. I think this game is very close, and they could probably sneak out a win potentially. So I'd be careful putting Texans money line in those parlays. Be careful.
All right, next up we have the Saints going to LA to take on the Chargers. The Chargers really hurt me last night, but that's okay. They're now 7.5-point favorites against Spencer Rattler and the Saints. Cody, I'll swing it right back to you. Are you laying 7.5 with a pretty mid team in the Chargers?
Yeah, what I'll say about this game is it comes down to how bad Rattler has looked. I'm not going to say he's a bad player, but he just looks bad. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if it's the coaching. You could see his face when he was on the field. He was literally saying, "What the F are we doing?" That's what he was saying to the coach, because he doesn't even know what's going on with Dennis Allen inside that brain. The team doesn't look good. I'm just going to roll the Chargers at home -7.5. Herbert looked phenomenal last night. He threw for 350 yards. I think Dobbins has a big day. It's just going to come down to time of possession, and I think the Chargers are going to be all over this ball, and they're going to make the Saints defense very tired very early.
Yeah, I fully agree with Cody. I think this is a blowout. I think the Chargers defense is legit. We saw with the Broncos defense what they did to Spencer Rattler last week, and I don't think anything really changes, especially with Olave still out.
Hey, survivor pools, I forgot to add that. I think this could be a good spot.
This is
if you're alive, Chargers.
Oh yeah,
this is another team that not a lot of people will probably pick. A lot of people are going to probably pick, I'm assuming, the Lions, maybe the Bills. I don't know.
Ravens even maybe.
The Ravens, yeah. This is a spot where I think this is a pretty easy win in my opinion.
Chargers, and it's not close.
Wow. What was it? He threw for 350. Herbo.
348.
Did he?
350 and
347. I'm sorry.
No touchdowns is the most Herbo Chargers.
0 touchdowns.
Highway robbery with that one.
Herbo Chargers stat ever.
Rigger.
The Rat sucks. Herbo can play, but laying 7.5 with the Chargers, who you never know what they're gonna do. That's kind of what that's what this team feels like. Herbo's a great quarterback, but he just can't you can't win like Mahomes can. You know what I mean? Like that, like those type of quarterbacks.
Is that a Herbert problem or is that like a Harbaugh
no,
problem?
it's a team.
Like, is it a coaching thing?
It's
maybe it's
got to be more a coaching thing.
But you know how the Chargers' defense is though, like against the Rattler.
The guy doesn't even have weapons. Who's his tight end? Is it Will Disley, right?
Well, dude,
he had 10 catches last year.
legend.
He loved that's CVA's boy.
Yeah.
He was all over
Herbo has
no, but
weapons.
is that a weapon though?
Having no weapons and throwing for 350 is crazy.
Josh Palmer, bro, like wide receiver 1.
Yeah, I started him.
You're going with
Started him this week. This is so tough. I'm gonna go with the Chargers here. Herbo, he had 350 and no touchdowns. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
But this is the thing. Herbert is miles
Herbert.
better than Rattler. Harbaugh is miles better than Dennis Allen. But
Easy game.
Saints got no weapons.
I said here, like the hook is getting me here. I could gain a game on all of you too with this.
You think Rattler keeps it close? Look at yourself in the mirror and say that like 10 times.
Give me the.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Give me the Chargers. That's a storm. Give me the Chargers. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Third one?
Give me that's the third one. It's getting windy
stormy
out here. Give me the Chargers. That's a storm. This game is sick. I don't know that hook. I wish this was at least 7, but whatever. Ball. Chargers storm.
350 and no touchdowns.
All right, moving on to our cover 4 game of the week. It was a team effort. It's not biased, okay? It's the Seahawks Bills. Come on, this is the game of the week.
I didn't agree to this.
I did not agree.
I don't even think he talked to any of us about it. Actually,
Nate Dogg loves this game as well. Come on, this is the. It's a huge spot for both of these teams, obviously. The Seahawks finally rebounded last week. They dismantled the Falcons, and somebody had them as a lock.
Yeah,
this guy. No, the Seahawks.
I love you, Kirk. I love you.
The Seahawks. Here's a little stat for you. Byron Murphy plays. The Seahawks are 4-0. Just saying. He's a dog. He's really shoring it up front. I alluded to that last week. I'm going to open us up. I'm taking the Seahawks +3. This is such a big spot for them to get to 5-3. Have the Niners have an outside of chance of losing this week again. We could have a 2-game lead in the division. I'm so confident in this team. Mike McDonald, he's building a culture. This defense is not as bad as those those tough weeks there with the Lions, Giants, and Niners. This defense is going to be good. They have dogs. They're missing corners, and they're still performing. They shut down. Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards. He threw for 500 yards a couple weeks ago. The Seahawks.
Have you never not picked the Seahawks?
Don't look into that.
Did Seattle lose to the Giants a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we're past that, Cody. We're living in the present.
I'm just making sure.
The present.
I mean, I love how you back up. I gotta respect it. Like you back them up every week. Everybody knows you're gonna pick them every week. It's like
this is the Seahawks +3. They're gonna win this game outright. Give me the Seahawks. I love you, Josh Allen. Great guy. Seahawks.
Yeah, I want the Bills to win this game so much, bro. So much. I mean, I fade the Seahawks every week. I'm not gonna do it this week though. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks here. They're riding off a high. This is a solid team with solid receivers. Don't get comfortable over there. Don't get comfortable because this is probably once in a lifetime here. I think they're gonna get this done at home. Seahawks +3.
Yeah, this is a.
Yeah, this is laughable.
This is a great game, like on paper and based off the talent on both teams. The offense should be great on both sides. Yeah, Seattle's at home. I'm going to ride with. I'm not convinced that they're gonna win, but I'm taking the Seahawks to cover at home. I think it will be a very good game, very close game. Correct score prediction. I'll go 32-30.
Wow.
32-30. I'm not saying if it's Bills or Seahawks, but
32-30.
I'd love to see how they get to 32.
That's a tough one. All right.
Hey,
Seahawks
play
weird games.
It's always possible, but that'd be a what is it, like a NFL Equinox or something?
No, it's called Scoregami, but
Scoregami. Yeah,
Scoregami.
Dude, whatever the freaking term is, it's over. Like the game's going over, and the Bills are gonna win by 3. It's not a storm. At the end of the day, Josh Allen is.
You can never storm the Seahawks with the haters on this podcast, man.
There's no haters, man. This team lost to the NFL Giants, the New York Giants.
True.
And Daniel Jones. To be fair, they weren't playing at MetLife. MetLife Daniel Jones is a totally different Daniel Jones. Like he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass at MetLife in 600 plus days. Sink that in.
That's an insane
I
stat.
have the same amount of touchdown passes as Daniel Jones at home in the past 600 days.
He gets paid trillions.
Nate Dogg does,
trillions.
Colton does, and Zach does. Colton might even have more, matter of fact. But I'm taking the Bills -3. Josh Allen versus Geno Smith. Come on, it's too free. It's free cheddar.
All right, next up we got a sneaky good game. A couple years ago, this game would have been dog. But now we get the Bears and the Commanders, two good teams right now. Obviously, Jaden Daniels banged up on Sunday. They didn't need him because it was the Panthers. But the Bears coming off a bye. Cody, I'll open up with you. The Commanders are plus 2.5. Don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to play or not, but I know you love him.
Yeah, JD is my guy. Good player, great player. I don't think it matters much.
Good guy,
Marcus Mariota looked great last week when he went down.
Shout out Owen Gilbo, Marcus Mariota guy.
Facts.
Yeah. This team put up, I think, 40 against the Panthers, given the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL probably. I love the way they're looking. Dan Quinn's still sick that he left my Dallas Cowboys. He's doing great. Shout out to him and Kingsbury. They look awesome. But I'm taking the Panthers plus 2. I'm sorry. The Commanders plus 2.5. Whether or not JD plays or not, it doesn't matter to me. I think the line is reflecting that he's not playing. Because if he was playing, he'd probably they'd be favored.
Although the
especially because
I don't know, Vegas loves the Bears. They're always giving them these generous lines.
Commanders at home though, they've looked great. So I'm gonna take the Commanders plus 2.5.
Yeah, you got, as Zach just alluded to, you got the Bears off the bye. Bears.
That's
Bears
all
off
you need,
the
man.
bye.
That's all you need.
Caleb Williams, drafted him in my Dynasty League. I have high hopes for him. He just came off a 4-touchdown game last time we saw him. And against Jaden Daniels' list Commanders team, I think nothing changes. I think the Bears will cover this game. I think the Bears will win this game. No disrespect to Mariota. Like he did pretty well when he stepped in, but I don't think against this Bears offense, what seems the direction they're going in with Swift actually playing good. Swift has had 3-4 consecutive 20-point fantasy games,
Yeah, he looks good.
So all that being said, the Bears are on a roll, so give me the Bears.
Yeah, BB here. Bears off a bye. They come out and they roll the Commanders. Caleb Williams, he's trending up. The last couple of weeks have been solid. The whole team is well rested, and they're going to destroy the Commanders at home.
All right, I'm making Cody a lone wolf here. Only one on the Commanders.
I feel so good about it.
I'm taking the Bears minus 2.5. Laying a short number off the bye week. I think this team is somewhere between they're not underrated, but I still think they're going to be pretty good. I know they have had a rocky start to the year. They still have a decent record. They're playing in the toughest division in football. They need games like this where they can, especially if Jaden Daniels is not 100%. I think the Bears win this game and cover the short number. All right, next up, the Denver Broncos laying 8.5 points. That doesn't sound right. They must be playing the Carolina Panthers. That checks out. So they're laying 8.5 in Mile High. I'll start us out. I'm going to take the Panthers here. I've taken them several times this year. I got off of them last week. The Commanders rolled them. That was a great storm for all of us. I think they're going to stumble into one of these covers though pretty soon. When you keep getting these 7+ point spreads, at some point an NFL team like the Panthers, they're going to run into a couple back doors or something. And against a pretty mediocre team in the Broncos, they're pretty mid. I think this is a good spot to do that. I think the Broncos win. I think the Panthers cover. 8.5 is just slightly too many points for my taste.
I think
for my liking.
Okay.
For my preference.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I think that Bo Nix is a very, very, very solid quarterback. When he has time in the pocket, he throws absolute bullets.
You seem like a Bo Nix guy. I don't know why.
Hey, I don't know. He just destroyed. I know he destroyed the rat, but he throws bullets when he has time. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Broncos here. The Panthers suck. They suck, and I'll lay large numbers with the Broncos 8.5.
Yeah, this game a little harder for me than it would appear, But I'm going to lay the points with the Broncos. He nixed the Rattler, and now he's gonna nix the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. I think this Broncos defense is gonna smother this Carolina Panthers offense. Deontay Johnson, he's in Carolina. He's I'm pretty sure he's already complaining. He made some comments
he's
already.
Upset. He's upset. Really upset.
Don't blame the guy. Dude's talented.
Jonathan Brooks is gonna get some run this week.
But
if they activate him,
Denver's defense is gonna be all over this Panthers offense, and I don't know if the Panthers put up 14 points. Give me the Broncos.
It's okay. They're gonna lose 16-10.
I'm on the Broncos with Nate as well. I was very high on the QB doctor himself, Dave Canales, and I think this just goes to show you not only how bad of an organization the Panthers have been ever since McCaffrey left. They were even bad while he was there, obviously. That's why he wanted out so bad. He couldn't even fix Bryce Young, a guy coming from Bama, Nick Saban product. Loved him. And Andy Dalton has his problems. He's probably should have retired 3 or 4 years ago. I'm still confused why this team still has Dalton starting when they have a young guy. They might as well try to get Bryce Young a little better. They're just like
Yeah,
they're
point,
done.
yeah, those are
At this
games.
point,
Right,
they're
what's
one.
the-
What are they?
what's the
1-6,
point?
1-5.
Right.
Yeah.
1-6, I think.
Might as
What's
well go
the-
back to Bryce Young.
Yeah, I don't
He's
know what
learning.
the point.
He's learning a lot from the
I guess
Red
Dalton's
Rocket.
learning a lot right now. I feel like it should be Bryce Young. I think eventually Bryce Young will be back starting again. It's only a matter of time when they're out of playoff contention. Like even though we all know they're not going to make it, but I'm going to be taking the Broncos here. I think Nix uses his legs in this game, and the run game is going to be key. I think Javonte Williams has another big day.
He's
Runs
big.
all over the
32nd
team
ranked.
just like he
Big.
did against the Saints.
I think this is the 32nd ranked defense against the
Panthers,
running,
they're
running backs in
they're
fantasy,
probably
I believe.
32nd ranked every category. So,
Brutal.
All right, next up, another home divisional dog, though we had a lot of them this week. The Las Vegas Raiders playing host to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, the lone undefeated team in the league. Cody, Jameson, Santo, where are you going here? Raiders plus 9.5.
It's looking like Aiden O'Connell is on the IR. Guy I'm a big fan of. Big fan of AOC. Shout out. Hope that thumb gets healed up. You're laughing, but
You called him elite.
I mean, I like the way the guy makes decisions. He makes decisions quick. He gets the ball out of his hands quick. Shout out to him. He'll be back. I know he'll be back.
Okay.
Besides the fact that
He's going to start a random game in like 2028 for like the Broncos
Gonna
or
throw
something.
for like 500.
Yeah,
and
he's
then
a dog.
retire.
I like the Raiders plus 9.5 in the spot. The Chiefs are 6-0. Not going to say they're going to lose this game here, but I believe they can keep it close. Maybe Minshew, he's a competitor. He can compete with Mahomes a little bit. I know Mahomes lost the game outright last year to the Raiders.
That's true.
Yeah.
So this was the same team.
That was sick. I lost.
Yeah, it was on Christmas, bro. It was a
I
Christmas
hit like
miracle.
a 5 or 6. It was just, I think you were on that with me, I think.
Yeah, brutal.
Probably.
This could be a spot where this game is a lot closer than people think. It's a divisional game in Vegas, so I think the vibes will be high, and let's see if Mitchell can keep it close. So go with the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm living up to the name, Nate Dogs, divisional dogs. I'm going with the Raiders to cover this game. You know, who knows? Cody said, they might win outright. They beat them last year. And, you know, this version of the Chiefs this year, you know, their defense is, you know, legit. They're playing very well.
As usual.
They're not really built to blow people out.
Right. Their defense is what's really keeping them in games right now because Mahomes' stat line right now is crazy. He's like 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
He hasn't had 20 fantasy points since week 13 last year, by the way.
No,
Crazy.
yeah. With that being said, you know, I think the Raiders, they have heart. Their defense is going to play with motivation to get this dub and end the Chiefs' undefeated streak. Give me the Raiders.
The outright win. All right. I like
Raiders,
that.
bro.
This is where survivor pools die.
Yeah.
Games like this, they die.
In Vegas.
Don't pick the Chiefs in
Well, you
Survivor.
think people
It's
are
only
going to the
fitting that
Chiefs?
it's in Vegas. It's only fitting.
Yeah,
Indeed.
the Raiders at home plus 9.5. I feel like this exact game has happened before. Like
Yes.
plus 9.5.
That
Like
number exactly.
like just everything about it. Like we've said this on the show before. Mahomes just wins games. Right now, he looks like a lower mid quarterback, but he wins games. He does win games. He's gonna win this game, but they're not gonna cover this number. This is gonna be a close game, probably a field goal game. I'm gonna take the Raiders plus 9.5.
Mahomes and Daniel Jones, shout out to them. They lead the NFL in interceptions. Shout out.
So I don't like this
8
game.
picks.
I don't like anything about
Mahomes
this
and
game.
Daniel Jones.
They both lead.
Probably not going to bet it.
That's
Maybe
crazy.
I will.
It's bad.
What do you
That's
say?
crazy.
I didn't even know that stat.
Mahomes and Daniel Jones lead the NFL in interceptions.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't like this
They're
game
very
at all.
similar quarterbacks. Right?
I'm gonna lone wolf the Chiefs here minus 9.5. I've taken a lot of cushions this week with the big numbers. This is not one I'm gonna take. I know if you look at the history, taking the Chiefs as a favorite of like 3, 4 or more points is not highly profitable when they get to these type of numbers. But the Raiders don't inspire any confidence for me. I don't think this team is good. And Antonio Pierce is I don't think a good coach. He was kicking a field goal down 20-12 with 2 minutes something. Yeah, it is a little fishy.
Smells fishy.
2 something to go. He kicks a field goal to make it a touchdown game to a touchdown game. It made no sense.
I know sick gamblers. You guys are all sick.
It was just
Sick.
gross. That was one of our storms. We were all on the Rams. We went 3-2, like I said. That was a storm for us.
Do we agree there should be an investigation, though?
Antonio
extent?
Pierce.
There should be an
But he's
investigation.
made dumb calls like this before that don't even. I don't know. I don't like Antonio Pierce. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Hopefully they can win by 10. I'll take the opportunity to lone wolf it. Give me the Chiefs. All right, a classic NFL matchup right here. Cowboys-Niners. Doesn't get more classic than that. The Niners are hosting the boys here. The 49ers are laying 4.5 points. They are really bad. They just lost Ayuk for the year. McCaffrey still probably not going to return. I know they're starting to inch him back, but Debo had pneumonia, was hospitalized.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. That sucked for fantasy. Would have been 7-0 still in that grime league if he put up something. Hope he's okay.
My dad was very mad at Debo Samuel. He was like,
Like,
Debo was like, come on,
that came
Debo.
out of nowhere. I didn't even know he was gone because obviously I was watching Red
Are
Zone.
you,
I wasn't watching.
why do you sound surprised though?
I don't know.
It's the 49ers.
Yeah.
Like they don't give any
look at
information. They're the one
McCaffrey,
team.
right.
They don't give anything. So
Patriots and 49ers.
I'm not surprised at all. Hope he heals up though.
In this spot, this is another game that I didn't really have. It was this game, the Saints-Chargers, that I didn't really have a good feeling about. I still don't have a good feeling about it, but I'm going to go Cowboys plus 4.5. This isn't usually a matchup where you want to take the Cowboys, a Niners team that's feeling a little desperate. But the injuries are key here, and the Cowboys have had so much time to prepare off the bye. Just keep this game close, Dallas, please, for the sake of your owner who's going to collapse if he sees another blowout. So Cowboys plus 4.5, I think. I think I'm going to take the Cowboys to win outright, but at least give me a Niners field goal win. So give me Cowboys plus 4.5.
Yeah, I feel like last year these are two teams where it's like they're very trendy. You kind of have an idea what's going to happen. This year it's like I don't even
Niners
know.
always beat them though.
I honestly don't know. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. I have CeeDee Lamb in fantasy. He really hasn't been he's been decent. I think he's 15, 16 points a game. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. I hope CeeDee has 40. I need it bad. Cowboys 4.5.
Tight one. Both teams banged up on both sides.
Micah
Big
Parsons
injuries
could play
on both
this week,
sides. No, he's out. So,
He
right?
could play this. They said he could play this week.
DeMarcus Lawrence too.
I'm just gonna go with what's been happening with these teams the past couple of years. I'm gonna pick the Niners. No Debo. Well, maybe Debo plays. I don't know. But Ayuk's gone for the year. They're 3-4 off a big loss to the Chiefs. So them at home, I think they get back on track. The running game. I think the running game is key here for San Fran. Dallas defense is still very banged up front. So if any part of the offense carries them to victory, it's going to be the run game. And they're a little desperate. They're 3-4. Dallas is 3-3. Both teams are a little desperate, but I just don't see a world that San Fran's 3-5. I don't know.
That's fair.
That's tough.
They don't have to be though. They just have to cover.
Yeah, I'm with
True.
Nate Dogg. Unfortunately, like he said, I've been seeing this. I've seen this story over and over and over. Every year these teams play, Cowboys get shit on. That's how this goes. It doesn't matter what superstars out. Brandon Ayuk, Debo. If Debo plays, if he doesn't, they're still not going to cover this number. The 49ers are going to win this game by 5 with ease. They're at home. George Kittle, still a top tight end. He's going to do his thing. The O-line for the 49ers, Trent Williams, is going to baby the whole D-line of Dallas. They're all soft. Micah's probably not going to play. DeMarcus Lawrence probably not going to play. These are big pieces that they're missing, and that's what this game's going to come down to. And at the end of the day, Shanahan is a much better coach than McCarthy. So hammering the 49ers.
Hey, if Ayuk was all right, I think the 49ers would rout him here, right?
I don't know. Jawan Jennings
He might be
isn't bad.
I'm sorry.
Personal
I
too,
feel
kinda.
bad for Ayuk,
Personal,
but
yeah.
most frustrating receiver ever.
Who, Juwan Jennings?
No, Ayuk.
Oh.
I don't blame Ayuk for a single thing he did this offseason. I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. He got his bag, bro. That's what he wanted. He knew
It's all about money, man.
any moment he could have tore his ACL, tore his hamstring, and it happened.
Fair.
All right, we wrap things up. Monday Night Football. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who came off an impressive win against the Jets, who are my lock. That was a tough one. They're now laying 5.5 against the other New York team coming to their building. Cody, I'll start with you. Are you backing I don't know how you back Daniel Jones much. Again, they beat the Seahawks, but I don't know how you can back him here. I don't know.
Yeah, but the Seahawks are ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other factor in this game, the reason I'm going to be taking the Giants plus 5.5 is because Daniel Jones is a different quarterback on the road, believe it or not. He gets the jitters playing at home, I swear. That's what it comes down to. Half the time the guy's on the field, he's getting booed. What do you guys expect? If I'm Daniel Jones and I'm getting booed at home, I'm going to feel some type of way too. But
Daniel Jones kind of plays like...
He's a much better quarterback on the road.
If there was a sniper on the top of the stadium and Daniel Jones kind of knew about it but wasn't sure if he was going to get sniped, that's how Daniel Jones plays at home.
What, he's timid?
Yeah, he's acting like he's like...
Bro,
yeah,
he's getting booed the whole game.
He's shaky.
I'm going to give you an
He's
example.
like
I saw a clip on Twitter of this guy leaving to go to his car, and there's a line of people. There's the fence, obviously, so he can walk. They're all just booing him, saying, F you, you suck. What do you expect? I'm not going to sit here and say Daniel Jones is a good quarterback, but how's he going to perform?
say Aiden O'Connell's a good quarterback.
How does he perform, though, when this is happening to him on the outside? It doesn't make sense. But on the road, Pittsburgh's a hostile environment. Give me the Giants plus 5.5. I think they can keep this close. No way they win this game. I think it's like a 3-4, 5-point win for the Steelers. But I think they can keep it close. Like I said, I still believe in Dable's defense. He's got a great defensive mind. I think he can get this done. Coach the defense well. Isaiah Simmons have a big day maybe, get a little pick. Russell Wilson face some pressure. Dexter Lawrence leads the NFL in sacks. he can get to Wilson a little bit. He can have a big day. So
I'm gonna take this time, before I get into the game, to say that, I'm fully on board with what I saw on Sunday out of Russell Wilson. Pleasantly surprised of how well it went. Like Jets defense, arguably the best defense in the league. So just to see him, the first quarter was shaky, but
I was gonna say there was a point in that game where he was almost taken out of the game. He was getting booed.
Yeah.
And then George Pickens
I'm going to talk about that.
Saved him. One-handed, that saved him. If he dropped that, it's like, boo. He might not come out the next possession.
Right. But what I will say about that is that he hasn't played since the preseason. So I'm gonna shake some rust out, whatever. I know Colton said that.
He is a Super Bowl champion.
George Pickens is that type of player, though. You throw the ball up to him, that's what he wants.
He is
he wants that aggressive catch 1v1. He said, "Throw me that." That's what he wants. He Pickens.
Caught every single ball 1v1, even out of bounds, everything.
Oh yeah.
The question is, why hasn't he doubled? I don't know.
On Sauce Gardner too.
Van Jefferson wide receiver too. Yeah, why are they not doubling Pickens?
Watching the Steelers offense that day, I haven't felt that way watching a Steelers game since Big Ben pre-elbow injury. It went that smooth, and I was wow. Granted, that was a 1-game sample, but I do feel like Russell Wilson, off of that 1-game sample, just like his touch on the ball, I think he opens up the offense so much more. And with the defense playing as well as they played against the Jets that game, and they're getting a little what's the word here? An upgrade, Cameron Sutton. He's gonna be our third corner. We have him back after the bye week. So I think, the Steelers, what they do, Najee got going, the run game going. The Steelers, and people are gonna say, Nate Dogg's a delusional Steelers fan, whatever it is. I don't give a whatever you think of me for saying this, but the Steelers, what I saw on Sunday, if they can play like that, bro, they're a Super Bowl threat, 100%. Some people would be like, but no, you can't argue with the way they played that game. I don't know. I think they can really go somewhere. But yeah, so now get me back to this damn Giants game. Daniel Jones, Cody says he leads NFL in interceptions. If the Steelers can put up points like they did against the Jets defense, I don't think much changes at home against the Giants defense, which is still a good defense, but not as good as the Jets defense. George Pickens, big plays, top 3 hands in the league, and he's not 2 or 1. I mean 2 or 3. 2 or 3.
Got him.
He's one. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh cruises in this game.
I can agree to that.
I think Pittsburgh cruises.
What
in this game.
QB would start in the Super Bowl if that happened?
If they got there,
at least for this year,
probably Russ.
Russell
It's got to
Wilson.
be Russ.
Yeah.
What's funny? The Steelers are one of the only teams I know can beat the Ravens.
Oh yeah,
genuinely.
Lamar.
The Chiefs can beat them, but the Steelers can definitely beat the Ravens.
Playing in Pittsburgh is it's brutal. Watching that game last week, I don't know how you can grab a win there. The fans all the fans remind me of rushing the passer. That's what they that's the intensity they bring. It's kind of insane. With Russ though, I still deep ball Russ. I don't know. George Pickens saved his ass from getting thrown out of that game. I know it was his first game back in a while. That being said, I'm going to go with the Steelers -5.5. No way the Giants can get this done in Pittsburgh. It's pretty much impossible. Book it.
Van Jefferson was not fantasy relevant really, but he was relevant in that game,
Yeah.
Van Jefferson.
Surprising. I'm going to make Cody a lone wolf here. I'm going to take the Steelers -5.5, but I don't really care about that. I want to talk about.
Hey, he's back in the rush.
I want to talk about. Hold on a second.
Oh
the
no.
No. Hold on.
It's going to be a long debate, bro.
It's not going to be a long debate. I'll make this quick. Steelers fans. I never had any I was always neutral to Pittsburgh. They're great franchise, historic franchise. But what are these fans doing? You're booing Russell Wilson after a couple of drives. Dude hasn't played in a long time. He's only played in the preseason. You've had a mediocre offense. Now you get this great performance. You win. That's the best your offense has looked. Oh, now you put the booze away. You don't deserve this. This man is a Super Bowl champion. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game.
This man threw 3 contested ball to George Pickens.
And
Pickens made the play.
You don't deserve. I wish that you go back to Justin Fields.
Any receiver other than George Pickens,
they're all drops.
Is he playing that whole game?
They're off. Why is George Pickens all of a sudden relevant now?
No, he's not all of a sudden.
He wasn't doing anything.
It's a good dynamic just because Pickens is the best one-on-one receiver.
What changed is that he was getting the ball one-on-one coverage and he was getting the ball thrown to him. That wasn't happening with Fields.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Russell Wilson gets the playmakers involved. He makes plays. And he puts his play.
I think Pickens made the plays.
Pickens had a great game. I like Pickens.
Pisses me off too because he'll throw that ball. George Pickens, he couldn't
even see the ball.
He's got 6'2" Sauce Gardner on him with his hands like this. He catches it and they're like, Oh, deep ball, Russ.
Are you
Deep
trying
ball,
to
Russ.
say like he hit him in stride or something? Because I hope
No,
that's
that one he
not
threw
yards.
under through, but it was his first game back. My point is that's the best your offense has looked all year by far.
Oh,
and the fact that you're booing him early in that game, you should be disgusted with yourselves, Pittsburgh.
And I can come back.
I hope you go
kinda
9-8. Or no, if Russ is there, I hope Russ plays well. But I hope you guys go 9-8 because you don't deserve Russell Wilson.
Steelers fans expect a lot. They're a
I can
hasty
come
fan
back
base
and
right
kind of
now.
like agree with you, not really agree, but it's like it's a perfect dynamic because he's just gonna throw the ball up, high and soft. He doesn't even like. He's just like.
Best deep ball throw of all
And
time. It's
Pickens
not
is probably going to catch it like 90% of the time. So.
But one thing I will
works.
say to TVA's point, like the fact that like Russell Wilson does have like touch and elevation on the ball compared to Fields is like just straight up.
Hey.
Like in the
not even trying to hate on
in the
Fields,
Cowboys
it's
game,
just-
right? But the Cowboys game, like in the first drive, like Fields had like Darnell Washington, like he threw him a deep ball, but like
throw. He
but
can't
he
throw.
threw it straight at him and not. I was like, if he elevated,
Well, we
maybe he
can't
would have caught
compare.
it.
You can't compare Fields and Wilson because
Right.
Fields' first instinct
a
is
Hall
like,
of
I want to
Famer,
run the
yeah.
ball. That's
Right,
his first
right.
instinct. He doesn't care about throwing the ball, so that's why Russ is a throw first quarterback.
Well, that's the one
Right,
thing that Russ
right.
can't
What is
do
it? It's
anymore
a
is really
yin and
run that
yang.
well.
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
They're both totally different. So.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the locks of the week. Behind me, as you can see, the lock records on the year still very good. Now, Cody and Zach are under 500. We're not used to seeing under 500 records in the lock section. But you look at those all-time numbers. Still, look at those percentages, guys. Every week, come on, 75%, 64%, 60%.
I gotta keep it over 50.
54.2. Yeah, don't. That would be bad for the pod. Come
I
on.
gotta dig
No,
deep.
we're doing great in locks all time. I hope you're really paying attention to this segment. Last week was a tough one for me with the Jets, but I'll open us up here. This week I'm going to a different AFC East team. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins -3. I really like them in this spot. I already said all I need to say. I think they're going to score a lot of points. We're going to see some vintage Miami Dolphins. I think it just opens up the playbook completely. We're going to see a lot of last year Miami stuff in this game. Zach, I'll kick it to you. What do you got?
I'm going to go with what Nate Dogg's probably going to go with in the iron steel curtain here at home. They're impossible to beat. The Giants are terrible. Daniel Jones is going to be shaking in his shoes. Steelers fan base is going to be screaming, throwing everything, alcohol, weed, everything at him. Steelers -5.5. I feel like this is going to be a low-scoring game. Their DJ might get injured. I don't wish that on anybody, but it might happen. -5.5 Steelers is my lock.
I'm taking the Steelers to beat the Giants at home in primetime. Daniel Jones, I think he's
Double lock
gonna
alert.
be he's gonna be rattled. He's gonna be seeing ghosts as Sam Darnold did on the Jets. Yeah. And by the end of the game, who knows? Maybe Kay Adams, she's gonna leave Daniel Jones and maybe get with Mika Fitzpatrick or something.
Maybe.
Because Daniel Jones, he ain't gonna be it. Let me tell you.
How soon till Drew lock time? How soon? What are we thinking? Like week what?
Game
We're going into
11,
week 8, week 11.
And I like Drew Lock, so I'll say
I think
week
before that.
Before
13.
week 11.
I mean,
or
they've
is it the
already-
veto time?
They've
Not yet.
already made a comment, right?
It's not
about-
Christmas yet. That's why. Hey, when Christmas comes around, shout out Tommy D.
Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets guy. Come on. It hurts me to do this, but either way, I'll be like a happy camper. I'll either win my lock or my favorite team will win. So I'm taking the 49ers -4.5. Like I said, I see this year after year, they get blown out, especially on primetime. Brandon Cooks still is not back. The number 2 receiver on this team is Jalen Tolbert, and the third receiver is a guy like Jalen Brooks or Kevontae Turpin. Like, it's not going to cut it.
Hey, that's a win-win.
You're going against
it's a win-win
Jawan
for you.
Jennings, probably Deebo Samuel, Jordan Mason, who's looked phenomenal, and George Kittle, a top 3 tight end in the NFL. And Trent Williams is just going to be manning this O-line. I think it gets ugly. Once again in San Fran. These guys, like, every time they play Dallas, like, they're literally laughing because, like, how easy it is. Like, they're just blowing them out. So it's unfortunate. We look like a soft team right now, but I'm taking the 49ers all day.
All right, last segment of the day. We got fantasy players of the week. We'll burn through these quick. Cody, who you got as your guy to look out for this week?
So in a game that I believe the Titans will be keeping close, but I think like I said, I'm taking the Titans to cover. I think they'll be coming from behind, though, because, Oh, pause.
Oh,
Yo, damn.
Yo, you gotta.
I didn't say that. Yeah, edit that out. But yeah, I'm gonna be taking Calvin Ridley to have a humongous day against this team. I'm assuming the Lions will be in the lead for the majority of this game, so I'm gonna take Calvin Ridley to have maybe 8 catches, 100 yards, and 1 or 2 touchdowns. Big day.
Nate Dogg.
Yeah, like I'm on the Steelers. Like every week I pick them, you know how it is. But this week I'm extra on the Steelers because my lock is the Steelers, and my fantasy player is none other than George Pickens. I'm going with George Pickens.
Yeah,
I think he's here for like fantasy consistency.
I love it.
Now I think it's gonna happen. Yeah, George Beacons.
Let's go.
Like I said, top hands in the league, and it ain't 2 or 3. He's top 3.
mean, as long as Russ is playing quarterback, that's pretty solid right there. I'm gonna go with a game where I really hope that they can win. They can win in a solid way here. I'm gonna go with J.K. Dubins. I think they're gonna be up. Hopefully, unless the Rat throws for like 400, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I think Dubins will have 2 touchdowns in this game for like 50 yards on the ground.
Olave is questionable too. I don't even know if he's playing.
I got a weird one. But a guy that I was thinking about last week actually to emerge back into a little bit of fantasy relevance. Elijah Moore for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, man. That's a good one.
I think Jameis Winston's going to be throwing the ball around the yard. This is a guy that used to get a ton of targets, years prior. So, and he already got a little bit more volume this past week. So, I don't know. He only had 10 fantasy points this week. I think he'll get like in the 15 to 20 range, maybe get in the end zone. So look out for Elijah Moore. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week for week 9. Hopefully we have a good solid week. Thank the boys for being here. I thank you for liking and subscribing. We appreciate the support on the last video. Let's get that even more this week. And we'll talk to you very soon.
And all the subscribers to this channel, if you're not putting your boys on or your girlfriend on or your family on, like, what are you doing?
Your cousins.
Get on this.
Definitely your grandmothers as well.
Shout out Gavin.
Facts. We'll see you soon.
Gavin.